talked a lot about Chance Adams and Justus Sheffield during this hot stove season. And they always say, well, Sheffield is that next level away. I just wonder if that's the case, Jack, that he needs that much time at AAA, or could he maybe jump on their radar in spring training and get a call up?
Well, let's read between the lines of the most recent trade discussions that the Yankees had with the Pittsburgh Pirates for Garrett Cole. They didn't get him, but we've heard reports have been that Chance Adams was on the table as somebody they would trade. Justus Sheffield wasn't. So that's very interesting to me. That almost is telling you the Yankees, the way that they rank their own players internally. Sheffield is a guy who, first of all, lefty at Yankee Stadium. Big, you want that. Pitches with a swagger. He's only 5'10", but he's a guy who could be a four-pitch pitcher. He's got the fastball. He's got a power slider that he goes to. And the curve and the changeup are the pitches that he is still working on. But a long-winded answer to the question you asked me about 5 minutes ago, yes, you describe and dictate your own path. If he has a really nice spring training, goes to AAA and pitches very well right there, he can make his way to the major leagues this year.
No, you look at the numbers from AA last year, and he was very, very accomplished, obviously. Went through some injuries and kind of missed some time. But Jack's right. If you go to AAA, you get off to a good start. And, Bob, you mentioned in our meeting a guy like Jordan Montgomery. Pitched at AA, then had 6 AAA starts. The next thing you know, he goes to spring training, opens up some eyes, and spends a majority of the year in the major leagues. I think that's how quickly it can happen for Sheffield. When you're left-handed and you have an arm like he does, and Jack, the combination of pitches that you were talking about, you are going to get a shot at some point. You can dictate your own shot if you go to AAA right away, get off to a good start, and then all of a sudden you force their hand. Interesting for Adams and Sheffield, not on the 40-man roster, so there has to be some paperwork that has to be done in order and some moves to get them up to the big leagues. But if you're forcing the Yankees' hands, they'll find a way to get you up there.
You know, I also looked at, we saw the profile of Acevedo. I think 2 shows ago we did Cody Carroll, a 25-year-old power right-hander. I have to think just somewhere, maybe a game or a call-up here or two, Jack, that somewhere during the season we'd see a power arm like that might be able to help with the bullpen for a week or two.
Oh, absolutely. And Acevedo is the guy that jumps off the screen for me, and I'm sure it does for the Yankees and their scouts, too. We heard Nancy Newman's voice within that feature talking about a guy who's been clocked at 103 miles per hour. I mean, you bring a 6'7" guy who looks like he's a little herky-jerky, might not be the easiest to read. You bring him into a game and he's throwing 99, 100, 103. That is the kind of power arm that the Yankees already have littered within their bullpen. So maybe Acevedo can be another.
9.8 strikeouts per 9 innings, kind of to your point, 103 miles an hour. And how many starting pitchers have we seen in the minor leagues who throw that hard, are kind of all over the place? You're looking at them saying, reliever, back end of the bullpen, reliever. And that's usually where you're going to get your first opportunity in the major leagues, is to come out of the bullpen and just let it eat. You don't have to think a lot. You don't have to mix in a bunch of pitches, fastball, slider, and see what happens. Big arm will get a shot.